The understand myself system is that you can also use it to, like if you do the program and get your results and someone else does, someone you're close to, say, you can compare them, and that's really useful because you think you understand people, but you don't understand them as well as you think. So for example, my daughter was fairly, well, she was quite ill, so it was complicated, but she was touchy, let's say, when she was a teenager. And I thought it was because she was rebellious, but she did the personality test, and my son, by contrast, was very easy to get along with. But then we had them do the personality test, and it turned out she was very high in agreeableness and compassion, but also pretty high in negative emotion. Whereas he was the opposite. He was very disagreeable, but very low in negative emotion. So he wasn't easy to get along with. He just never got upset. But if you ever tried to get him to do something he didn't want to do, that was like impossible. And he was like that from the time he was 2 years old. Whereas my daughter, it wasn't rebelliousness, it was that she was easily made anxious and upset. And so I learned, at least to somewhat, so if she sort of flared up, instead of interpreting that as rebelliousness or conflict, I just saw it as nervousness. And that helped a lot. You know, it didn't make me able to deal with it 100%, but it helped a lot. It was quite shocking to me because, you know, I thought I knew my kids, and I did, I think, but that was very useful. And then it was really funny because then as she started to date, she had every boyfriend she ever went out with take the personality test first, so I thought that was really comical. That actually worked out quite well. Well, the thing is, you know, you want to be.
Are the boys not smart enough to like manipulate the answers?
Well, they don't necessarily know what she wants.
Yeah.
So, you know,
but I would at least assume like, okay, I'm going to try and sound agreeable, and I'm going to try. I remember I had to take psychological tests to, and this was in the 90s. They gave us one. You'd think they had some big battery of psychological examinations and interviews to get in the SEAL teams. No, it took like one test during boot camp, and it was funny because I was really hungry when I was in boot camp because the food sucks. And I just thought, man, I want to pass this test. And I knew I had some things in my brain that weren't going to be smiled upon by whatever analyst was going to read these things. So, and it was complete the sentence. These are the things I remember. It was complete the sentence. So it said, for instance, I hate when my mom, and you fill in the blank. And obviously, it's real easy to go sideways on that thing, right? I mean, if you're a psychopath. But for me, every answer that I gave was, you know, for me it was, I hate when my mom doesn't cook enough noodles with the spaghetti. Every single answer I gave was just about food. They must have thought I was a food psychopath. They were getting nothing out of me, nothing.
I think the test that my daughter used was one I had designed that people couldn't fake. So it wasn't quite as accurate with regards to the individual personality traits, but it was more difficult to fake good on, which is better for hiring people, for example.
What kind of question can you not fake in?
Oh, well, are you hardworking or are you easy to get along with?
Yeah.
Right. Are you creative or disciplined?
Oh.
Right.
Dang.
Or are you?
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly. Are you neurotic and anxious, or are you inhibited and
now,
awkward with people?
Can you go in between? Is it a 1 to 10? It's either or.
Yeah, with that particular pairing, it is.
And then you've paired all these questions so that eventually you get something good.
That's right. Well, or maybe here's 10 negative statements. Which 5 apply to you most? People hate those particularly, but they're quite accurate. So we used those for personnel selection for a while.
So for me, it would be, are you agreeable or disciplined? Hungry is my answer.
Yeah.
Now,